Hello and welcome to the show. Today's episode is a bonus episode, so if you noticed that there are two shows available for today, you are not mistaken. So it's a bonus episode. It's not part of the regularly scheduled topics, but it's something I feel I have to put out there. I'm not going to promote it with the way that I promote regular posts. So it's only those of you who are subscribed to the channel or who follow regularly that are going to see episodes like this that I put out from time to time. So, what we're going to look at on this episode is the information that you must have from potential clients before you try to close the sale. So, like I said, this is a bonus episode. It's not the one that I advertised at the last episode. So, don't worry. After this, we're going to return to what I promised was going to be the next topic for the next episode. I don't have my question sheet here with me, so I can't remember what that was. But don't worry, we'll be back on track at the next episode with whatever the prior discussion was. So, today is more or less a live case study because it's something that is still ongoing at the moment. I'm currently trying to sell scrap iron for dealers in Lagos, and the current haul that we're trying to sell is in Bagada. So I'm not really selling it per se because I'm actually providing them leads so that they can close the deal themselves. Now, unfortunately, this creates some difficulties for me because I'm not in control of these selling opportunities from beginning to end. So, excuse me. And unfortunately, my commission depends on these things. So it feels like I'm pissing money away because I'm coming up with opportunities, handing them over to someone else, and for various reasons that you guys are going to see and that we're going to explore, those folks are not entirely well skilled or have the right outlook to closing these deals. Now, the reason why that is the case is because these scrap dealers in Lagos are running their trade without using qualifications and discovery processes. For those of you who've listened for a while, you already know what qualification conversations, discovery conversations are. For those of you who are newbies, in summary, qualification, you want to be sure you're speaking to the right person and that they have a problem. Discovery, that's the part of the conversation where you're trying to figure out how bad the problem is, and this is a problem worth solving. If you don't run these two processes in your business, figuring out who this person is, what they want, how bad is the problem, is it a problem worth solving, you're going to be spending a lot of time with people that you think are potential customers and clients, but at the end of the day, they're actually not because there is no meeting of minds, there is no match in any way. So these guys in Lagos, they are engaging with potential buyers and with all the leads that I bring their way without trying to figure out a few things. These are some things that they should be trying to figure out. So, the first thing that they should be trying to figure out is who are these people that are reaching out to us and want to buy this scrap metal. Number two, they should be trying to figure out what these people do. What kind of business are they in? The reason why we need to know what kind of business they are in is going to be it's going to become apparent soon. The third thing that we need to find out is what they need the product for. Of course, it's related to what it is that they do. So, what do they need this product for? And then the last question is how essential is the product? In this case, scrap metal. How essential is it for these people's main business? These people that are reaching out to buy scrap metal or to buy recyclable material. Now, we need to know all of these things because people who buy scrap metal, recyclable metal, obviously metal that people don't want anymore, things that people think is waste, scrap. If someone is coming to buy it, then people are doing so for obvious economic reasons. That is because they still think that this discarded metal or this scrap still has economic or monetary value that you can repurpose to something else. So, for those of us in Nigeria or for those of us in Latin America, that's the reason why we have these boys that come through every day, every morning, every week to look through our trash and to pull out the things that we've discarded. They take the old laptops, they take the old phones, they take the old batteries, they take the old fans, they take the old keyboards, they take the old what have you. The reason why they do that is not because they're going to take these things and put in their house to look fancy, but it's because there are some people for whom this discarded material still has economic value. There are some plastics or some metals in the laptop that could be taken, melted down, smelted, or whatever, and used and repurposed for other stuff. So these boys come into our garbage bins or to the main garbage heaps in the city and rummage through all these things because there's still economic value and some of these things can be sold. So if you're a dealer in scrap metal, you need to know what these people need it for. So I find it really surprising when I get potential customers, I funnel it their way, and then they don't even do this basic homework, have these basic conversations with these people. If you don't know what they need it for, how are you going to sell? Anyway, let me not go on with my rant. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so we need to know number two, number three, what they do, what they need the product for, because they're obviously buying it for economic reasons and it has monetary value. So we need to know these four things before you set up a meeting or before you set up an inspection, because these are the kinds of things that will help you determine, and the other guy as well, to determine if it's worth taking a meeting in the first place. Unfortunately, the scrap dealers or my clients only ask four questions. The questions that they ask are this. Number one, are you interested? Basically, the attitude is, look, guy, do you want to buy this iron or not? Number two, they ask, are you okay with the price? Basically, they ask these people, look, when we promoted this thing on Facebook, we put that it is 1.2 million naira per ton or per this or per whatever. Sure, you've seen the price. Don't come and start negotiating with me. Are you okay with the price? So that's the attitude. Number three, question that they ask is, when are you willing to come for inspection? So basically, the attitude is, look, my guy, I'm only dealing with serious people. So if you're serious, just tell us, when are you going to come for inspection? I am free Wednesday and Thursday. When are you coming? And then number four, they ask the people if they're ready to pay for inspection or transportation or mobilization fee. So basically, the attitude is this. Look, guy, we're only looking for serious people to do business with. If you want to come and see this thing, you have to drop 100k. 100k is for the person who is going to take us there, and it's also for non-compete clause, or these boys always find a way of coming up with a reason why you should pay them 100 grand to go and see the hall before you have decided whether you're going to pay for it. So these are the kinds of questions that they ask. Now, unfortunately, a mobilization fee, an inspection fee, a transportation fee, a whatever non-compete fee is a deterrent for someone who isn't sure that they want to buy. So I want to look at this scrap. You say it's 1.2. I say, okay, no problem. 1.2, let me take a chance. Let me see this thing first before I drop any money. Then you now tell the person that, okay, they have to pay a further 50 grand or 100 grand or 150 grand. For someone who isn't sure what the haul is and whether he needs it, do you really think it's a good idea to be putting up all these impasses in the process? They're not going to take a meeting if it means spending money and they don't know if there's going to be a good outcome or not. Because what's the point of spending 50 grand, 100 grand, 150 grand to purchase something that is 1.2, only for you to drop the 50 grand and then you get there and you're like, this thing, I'm not going to buy it because it's not even fit for purpose. So there is no point in arranging for an inspection if you don't have a good idea that the scrap will be fit for purpose. So the boys, actually, these scrap dealers, should be asking a different set of four questions. They should be asking, who are you? That should be the first thing. Like, hey, what's up? Okay, you came from Tabishima. I know, hala, no problem. So what's your name? Okay. What business do you do? Okay, cool. That sounds interesting. So what do you need this scrap for? Okay, you're recycling it because you're going to use it to produce this and this and that. Okay, but this thing that you're going to recycle, What is it like is it the main is it the main ingredients in this part of the process or that part of the process? Forgive me, I'm being vague because I have no idea how this scrap recycling industry works. I only discovered it recently. So for those of you who are not in the know, I mean, I'm as green as you guys, so I don't know how it works. But these are the kind of questions that you need to be asking. Now, the reason why they should be asking these questions is because of this. Let's assume that the scrap iron that you have to sell is some sort of iron ore, but the people who want to inspect this thing are looking for nickel and they're looking for brass to recycle. It is only if you have asked all these questions that you will discover that what you have is iron ore, but what they need is nickel and brass. You can look at the Facebook pictures and it might look the same because, yes, these pictures are put up on Facebook or on the website or whatever. They might look the same, but maybe they need nickel and brass because they take the iron and they smelt it down and they sell it to people who, I don't know, maybe produce washing machines or whatever, or maybe produce cars, and so they can use it in the production of cars. But we need to know these things because you can ask someone for an inspection, you can collect the 150k, but it's going to be a waste of both of your time when they drive to the site and they look at the thing and then they discover that, oh, what you have is metal ore, but what they need is nickel and brass. And then that's when all the quarreling starts. And of course, this is Lagos State. We're talking about young men who are hopped up on testosterone and everybody's trying to make a way, everybody's trying to make a living. What do you think is going to happen when they show up there and they see 1.2 million nairas worth of iron ore, but what they need is nickel or what they need is brass? Of course, it's going to be a quarrel. And who knows, might lead to fisticuffs. So, summary, if your sales process is similar to these guys who sell scrap in Lagos, then the reason why your business is suffering isn't because of the economy. It's not because of the recession. It's not because of the previous administration. It's not because of Buhari. It's not because of Donald Trump. It's not because of bad luck. It's not because your family members don't mean well for you. It's not because of, I don't know, global warming. It's because you don't know how to sell, and it's because you're pissing off too many potential customers. There might be people who are bringing you referrals, or people like me who are finding you deals every single week, but you're going to keep pissing it away because you do not know how to sell. First off, you need to humble yourself, realize you don't know how to sell, and take dressing, take education, take coaching, take guidance from someone who knows how. Unfortunately, there's some cultural issues, should I say cultural or social issues involved in this case, because these guys in Lagos, these scrap dealers, they're very, what's the word? They're very street savvy. Yeah, they come from, how I put it, the wrong ends of the street. They're street boys, basically. And so street boys have no respect for folks like me, middle class, uh, ivory tower types. I went to Obafemi Awolowo University. I know for most of you don't know where the school is, but as far as Nigeria goes, that's kind of like Ivy League, first generation Ivy League. OAU, Unilag, University of Ibadan. That used to be, I think, University of London. I think the Nigerian campus or something like that. Anyway, so basically, street boys, they look at guys like me, and as far as they're concerned, guys like me were just rich poofs, and we have nothing to offer. So even if I try to tell them, hey, look, guy, calm down. I'm bringing you guys good market here. You guys don't have a good sales process. You're not having good conversations with these people. You're not weeding through them. Slow down. Let's rejig your sales process, and let's make sure that we make some money. They're not going to listen. The attitude will be like, I beg, like, what do you have to offer? I mean, like, just forget it. Like, we're here. We run these streets. We're in the streets. What do you know? Just stay over there in Abuja. You don't know anything. Leave us here in Lagos. Let's run our game. We're the ones who know what's up. So, it has nothing to do with the economic conditions or with whatever I think that's killing your business. It's because you have a poor sales process. So if you're one of these guys, if you're okay, well, you don't have to be like one of them, but if you're in a similar context and you don't know for sure what kinds of information you should be getting from potential customers or clients before you pounce on them to seal the deal, then reach out to me on LinkedIn or email me. Let's have a conversation and let's see how I can help. So that's all for today, pretty much, and that is why this is a bonus episode slash rant. But I hope it's a case study that most of you can find illuminating. But remember, whatever business it is that you are involved in, if you don't have a sales process, you're not even sure what kinds of things that you should ask from folks before you pounce on them to seal the deal, or before you pounce on them to collect your inspection money or your mobilization money or whatever it is. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. Let's have a chat. Let's see how I can help. Let's see how we can make some money. So, that's all, folks. Remember, you can subscribe for free. The show is Sales for the Nigerian Business Person podcast. Subscribe for free on your podcast player of choice, whether it's Spotify, Google, Overcast, Anchor, or whatever. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. The name is Tavishima Ayede. Tavishima rhymes with Hiroshima. If you can't get the spelling, don't worry. When you're done listening to this episode, just check the profile. You see my name right there next to the podcast art, next to the picture. Gosh, I should learn the names of all this technical stuff. Anyway, but bottom line, you get the whole idea. If you have a look at the podcast title, you see it there. There's a picture. My name is right next to it. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.